crucial conversations and why are they so important? Hi, my name is Jovita. Thanks for visiting Grow with Jovita. I share tips on how you can grow professionally and advance your career. Today we're talking about crucial conversations, what they are, and why they are so important to your career growth. The ones that are truly crucial are the ones that have a high impact and can have potential negative long-term side effects if you don't do them correctly. That's why it's so important for you to embrace them so that you can advance your career as opposed to the crucial conversations being a career staller for you. Some examples of these could be anything from you've made a mistake at work and you have to talk to your peers or your boss about the mistake that you made. That could be pretty difficult, right? Maybe it's difficult because you have an escalated client and you're just trying to de-escalate the situation and educate them on what's going to happen next. Difficult conversations with your boss could be about your performance. If you're getting feedback, whether it's good or bad, sometimes it can be a difficult conversation. Asking your boss for a raise or promotion, maybe needing time off at a really busy time, or if you need some type of accommodation. Another big one at work is setting boundaries. Being able to say no if they're asking you to take on more responsibility or work late or do something that's outside of your job description that you're not comfortable with. Depending on your comfort level is going to be maybe your project update meetings or monthly meeting updates where you have to give a status on the things that you're working on. That might be difficult especially if you have a fear of public speaking. It could be interviewing. There's a variety of reasons and examples of the difficult conversation. Make sure you check out my other video that helps you pinpoint the reason that you find difficult conversations difficult. Also, I'm going to drop my blog link in the comments because I have the 4 steps of how to handle crucial conversations successfully. So why are crucial conversations important? And you want to make sure not to avoid them. When a crucial conversation is handled successfully, and again, make sure you check out my blog, you are going to help build trust with that person. It is going to enhance your relationship. It is going to make you more credible. All of these things help contribute to your confidence. And the more confident you are, the more that you can achieve. On the flip side, when the crucial conversations don't go well, they can cause all kind of havoc. Think about some of the difficult conversations you've had that escalated. I'm going to share a crucial conversation I had recently that did not go well. I got caught slipping in an interview. Yes, I got asked a question that threw me off and I answered it very poorly. The interviewer asked me a question about how I handled a situation with my former employer, and unfortunately, my response was very negative. They always tell you not to talk negatively about your former employer. And while I hadn't intended to go that route, it kind of turned into that. And I could tell once I started telling the story that this was the wrong example to share. I normally prepare for interviews very well, but this was a question that threw me off. And instead of taking a moment to think about it, I just started answering off the cuff, and I definitely regretted my answer. Especially once I saw the reaction. I did notice the social cues that my answer was not the one that they were looking for. So I did try to flip it and adjust, but that's an example of a crucial conversation I had recently that did not go well. Now on the flip side, I had a recent conversation just this week, just a couple days ago, with one of my employees that went really well. I actually had to give an employee a write-up, which when you're a manager and you have to write somebody up or discipline them, that is always difficult. I don't care if the person's performance justified the write-up in terms of what the action steps need to be. It's not an easy conversation to have. I was also concerned that this person wouldn't take the feedback well because in the past she hasn't been that receptive to feedback. But I prepared and I used an approach that I thought would hopefully make the conversation go well, and it did. She actually was prepared, expected the write-up because the expectations to her had been clearly laid out before, to where she understood the action steps that were going to happen, and we were able to talk about some things that we can both do going forward to make us successful as a team. So that is an example of a crucial conversation I did recently that went well. The key with these examples is just to highlight that there are different types of conversations, and sometimes they can go well and sometimes they don't. The idea is that you know how to handle them successfully most of the time, and that even when something doesn't go your way, you know how to bounce back from that and learn the lesson for next time. As long as you continue to build credibility and build that rapport, you can bounce back from almost anything. Now, in an interview, you only have maybe that one chance. If you have a follow-up interview or you have a chance to correct something that you said, that's going to help repair that trust and credibility factor. But when it's somebody that you work with on an everyday basis, you have plenty more opportunities for you to come back and maybe change that perception that they had of you, or handle the conversations in the future differently so that they see you as somebody who can handle crucial conversations. Good luck. Let me know how it goes.